The phone is not really the problem. Addictions have been there since humanity. People have been addicted to alcohol, others are addicted to gambling, others are addicted to prescription drugs. Still, others are addicted to food. They eat themselves to obesity. In our high school years, students were addicted to novels. People would go way into the late night reading a novel. Sometimes they would even sneak them into class. The teacher is teaching, demonstrating his biology, and people are reading a novel under the desk. So it is not really the phone that is the problem. In my view, the problem is three-pronged: parental involvement, lack of information, and underlying personality issues with the child. Welcome back to Reflections on Parenting. Here, we share ideas on how to become better parents with each passing day. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, kindly do so that we may continue to grow together. Is it okay for your child to have a phone? The phone per se is not a problem. Addictions have existed all through the ages. The number one biggest challenge is parental involvement. Many times, and understandably, parents have become very busy wanting to make ends meet. A parent could be holding two jobs. A parent could be having a job and yet doing evening classes. So they come back in the evening, they have homework to do. The child wants to talk to the mother, but the mother feels like, I'm so occupied. So what does the mother do? Take your phone and play your games, so that you can leave me alone to study. Or go and watch television so that the mother or the father can have some time for themselves just to make ends meet. But we are forgetting that parenting is an equally important responsibility. And spending quality time with our children builds them up a great deal, strengthens the bond between parent and children. As you help them with their homework, they will tell you about their day, they'll tell you about the challenges that they're facing in school, and in the process, you're building the bond between you and your children. But when you just leave them to their whims, with all these gadgets, with all these screens, we are the problem. The second problem, as I've said, is lack of information. Many times as parents, we don't know the dangers of internet. Things like cyberbullying, phishing, or the effects of social networks on our children. Internet is here to stay, and it's becoming more and more difficult to keep our children from the internet. We also need to know about age-appropriate apps for our children. For example, a child between 4 years and 12 years, a child who is not yet a teenager. Many experts suggest that social media is a no-no. They should not be on WhatsApp, they should not be on Facebook, and things like that. Mostly, they can just use their phones to play their games. Screen time. How much screen time is good for your child? You see, the catch point is, if your child is not on the screen, the television or the phone, what are they doing with their time? As I said earlier, most of us don't have the time to spend with our children. So we just leave them to the media. We just leave them to their screens. But if we are involved with our children, the question of screen time will not even be an issue. Household chores. Make a program. Let every child do appropriate household chores. So you see, they don't have all the day to spend on the screen. They must clean their room, they must wash the dishes, they must help with the cooking. If you have a business, like you're a vendor, you're a mama mboga somewhere, they can accompany you and learn the trade with you. In that way, there will not even be the issue of screen time. But we want the household to wash their clothes, we want the household to polish the floor, to wash the dishes, to cook the food. Our children are just there, sitting. Can you see why we are making our lives so hard with this screen time issue? Yet we could make it simpler by ensuring that our kids are involved with productive work in their lives. There are family apps also that can help us managing the screen time for our children, also monitoring what our children are doing on the screen. When children are teenagers, we have to start letting go of too much control. We have to start giving them control of their lives little by little. Otherwise, we are conveying the message that we don't trust that they can take care of themselves. And yet we cannot live with them for all their lives. So yes, give your teenager the phone. But before you give them the phone, lay down some ground rules to be followed. For example, you are the policeman and you have a right to conduct a search anytime there is suspicion. So if they have flouted the ground rules, then the consequences that you had earlier agreed upon should take effect. For the child, for example, is going into unacceptable sites, you withdraw the phone for some time. You're given as much freedom as you can handle. So someone will always be trying to work hard to ensure that they are responsible so that they can have more and more access to their phone. Something else is that we need to talk to our children, educate them on the dangers of internet. Tell them about cyberbullying, discuss it, even role play. When you find that you're being bullied on the internet, how do you handle this? Parental involvement. How much are you involved? Discuss those issues with your children. The last thing is personality. Maybe a child cannot build good relationships with friends in the real world. What do? They resort to being behind the screen all the time. That is a child who has a problem. They need help. So the issue is not the phone. The issue is what is causing my child not to be able to socialize. And then as a parent, you handle that one. Let us strengthen the family values that we share with our children. Someone said, those people who are tasked with identifying fake money in the market don't study the fake money. They study the authentic notes through and through until they know how those notes feel, how those notes look like. They know every detail so that when they come across a fake note, they can be able to tell. And that's how it should be with us. Our greatest role as parents is to enable our children to develop values that will help them in life. Not to protect bad things from coming their way, not to protect bad influences, but to equip them with values, with convictions that can help them to navigate the real world. So for me, I don't view the phone as totally bad. In fact, I think it is an opportunity for me to be able to teach great lives. It is an opportunity for me to teach important life lessons to my children. Something like delayed gratification. Your child, of course, needs his phone now. I need it now. But take that as a learning opportunity. You will get to use your phone once you've done your assignment. You will get to use your phone once you have done your share of the household chores. In that way, you're teaching him to delay gratification, a quality that is missing in many people's lives today. You see a loan somewhere, pace up, you want. You see something, you are ready to borrow to just get it. With our phones also, we teach them how to budget. I don't buy data for my children. They work to get money to buy their data. So someone can wash the family car to get their money to buy data. Someone can clean the bathroom to get their money. I hope this has been useful. I'd like to hear your comments and your own experience with your child and the phone. Otherwise, please subscribe so that we can continue growing together. Bye-bye.